Welcome. Opening doors in 2016 and beyond. A message to juniors and their families. Remember, SAT Day is April 15th. This year, that's just a couple days after spring break. It's time to make a plan, no matter if you're going to college, straight into a career, or enlisting in the military.
What do the New England Patriots' Tom Brady and Franklin Indians' Jaquez Adams share in common? Both quarterbacked their teams to multiple championships. Both took the SAT to gain admission into Division I powerhouses. But most importantly, both epitomized the value of practice and experience in cultivating the confidence that's essential for success in a globally competitive world. In my experience as a school-to-career coordinator, I've come to realize employers like Baltimore County Public Schools, the NFL, J.C. Penney, and the Armed Forces rely heavily on standardized testing in employee selection. According to the American Management Association, 70% of employers use standardized tests to assess employee skills and aptitudes. 46% use standardized testing, both psychological and personality testing, to decide hirings and promotions. 41% of American employers use such tests to measure literacy and math skills. Taking the SAT in high school can provide the practice and experience, confidence students can tap into when tackling the standardized tests in their careers of interest. The SAT doesn't just benefit those bound for a four-year college education. Employers use standardized testing to pare down the applicant pool. Universities and scholarships do the same with the SAT. Truck drivers, real estate agents, doctors, auto techs, all must pass state-mandated tests. Taking the SAT provides all the prior test-taking practice and experience to perform well on the RD exam for registered dietitians, the CCRN exam for critical care nurses, the EMT-B and the EMT-P for paramedics, and a Wonderlic test for professional football players. Again, the SAT may open doors to colleges and scholarships, but it will definitely provide the knowledge, experience, practice, and confidence required to perform successfully on future standardized tests.
Students who are considering enlisting in the military benefit from SAT preparation because the same skills can be applied to the ASVAB test. Furthermore, students who intend to take advantage of the GI Bill should work to improve their SAT scores. The scores can be used to determine if students will be accepted to the college or the university. Students who know they are interested in both military and college can apply to go to college on an ROTC scholarship. In addition to having a physical and a GPA requirement, your SAT scores will be considered for eligibility.
All right, this presentation is about the NCAA clearinghouse and being able to accept a scholarship for Division I and Division I AA, Division II football players. There's a sliding scale that depends on your GPA and your SAT score. So on the NCAA clearinghouse, you could find a sliding scale that will determine what your GPA is and what SAT score you would need in order to qualify to be a scholarship athlete. In 2016, there's a new scale coming out and new requirements for any student entering college in 2016, which is the big focus is the 10 core classes that you must lock in prior to the start of your senior year, which is very important for all student athletes, regardless if it's football or any other sport as well.
Year is very important in terms of PSAT and SAT preparation. The PSAT taken in October will give a baseline score to juniors from which they can create goals for their SAT. SAT preparation should begin prior to October and continue through April when all juniors in Baltimore County Public Schools take an official sitting of the SAT for free. By senior year, some students will have taken additional SATs, but students who take the test more than 3 times generally do not see an increase. While SATs are not required for 2-year college admissions, They are used for placement. That means that students who score over a 550 on a section of the SAT will be placed directly into a credit-bearing course and will not have to pay for a course that will not give them college credit. SAT scores are also considered for both 2-year and 4-year college scholarships. And some 4-year use the SAT when determining the eligibility of transfer students. All 4-year colleges consider the SAT or ACT test as a primary factor in determining what students will be admitted to school, along with the rigor of academic courses and GPA. Students, if you haven't done so yet, take a look at your PSAT score, set goals, map out a plan for SAT preparation. Use Naviance for your career and college planning. Parents, you can monitor Naviance as well. There's lots of advice in the junior packet, and your school counselor is always available and willing to help.
Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Derenberger. I am the English SAT prep teacher here at Franklin High School. So I am in charge of the reading and writing sections. Miss Judy Roth, is in charge of the math section. I'm here to talk to you about the opportunities we have outside of school for SAT prep, of course for your juniors, and as well the opportunities inside of school at Franklin High. As far as outside of school preparation goes, private tutoring is probably the #1 option. It provides your student with a one-on-one opportunity for remediation. We have a list of private tutors from the community available at our website, franklinhs.bcps.org. If you travel to the counseling tab, you will find that list of community tutors to then call. As far as books to review individually at home, consider the official SAT book from the College Board as your primary option. It has a ton of practice tests in it. They are, again, officially sanctioned by the College Board. The Princeton Review book is better for chapter by chapter review, for subtopic by subtopic review, whereas the official SAT book only has the practice tests. As far as major programs go, national, internationally known programs, Kaplan and Princeton Review are the go-to names in the SAT prep industry. They have both online programs and in-person classes. They're quite expensive, but they are effective. They also have guarantees, which is nice. Free online test preparation is also available. Testive.com, spelled like it sounds, testive.com, is a phenomenal resource, as is actually my own site, killthetest.com, specific to the writing section, is also a good resource. Both, again, are free, they are interactive, and they track student scores. So from time to time, it'll tell students what they're doing well with and what they are not doing well with. Reading quality materials is always important, books and magazines. Going to Barnes & Noble and just taking a moment with your student to sit down and pick out a book or pick out a magazine that they can then read, professionally written material, professionally edited material. It will get them more acclimated to just the process of reading, which of course is a huge chunk of the test, is strictly just reading. And finally, writing practice at home, blogs, journals, anything that they can do to just put pen to paper or put their hands to a keyboard is important for that practice. At school, we have several opportunities, all of which involve either free or extraordinarily cheap SAT prep, hugely great values. Pullout sessions, we have these monthly. Myself and Ms. Roth run these. The pullout sessions actually are during school. We pull students out of classes as long as they and their teachers agree. We pull them into the library to handle more remediation immediately prior to any SAT that they may be taking. As far as the English Blitz is concerned, this is something new this year, where 2 weeks prior to the April SAT, the English department, all the junior teachers will be teaching juniors SAT prep for 2 straight weeks. We also have free Honor Society tutoring between the Math Honor Society and the official National Honor Society. For the Math Honor Society, it's Tuesdays in Miss Ross' room and Wednesdays in Miss Coburn's room. You do not need to sign up to go there. And again, these students, very smart students, will be helping other students with their SATs. Honor Society tutoring in the library is before school for 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Also, you can just show up. Finally, we have a $40, and this is the true value, SAT afternoon class. It is a one-time fee. It is the equivalent of upwards of $2,000 in SAT preparation. You could come from the beginning of the school year to the next, to literally the end of the school year till the following June. It runs 3 days a week from 3 to 5. English is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Math is on Wednesdays. We prefer that the scorers, depending on their range, split up their time between Tuesdays and Thursdays. If the range is in the 300 to 500 per section score, that would be Tuesdays. 500 plus would be Thursdays. Again, it is a one-time fee. $40 gets you in for the entire year, and that fee includes the Princeton Review book, which is worth $20 anyway. That is, of course, a phenomenal opportunity. It takes place 3 days a week, every week here at Franklin High School. Thank you for your time.
The SAT is very important for college-bound students. It's not just important for college-bound students. No matter if you're going into a career, military, a 2-year school, or trade school, SAT preparation and getting a good score on the SAT is in your best interest and will open doors for your future.